Word. All right. So today's agenda is to go over on review of everything that we've done. Okay. And then I am planning on doing that again tomorrow. So we've got review part 1, and you are going to submit this at the end of the class. So this is your homework for today, and we're going to do that all together as a class. Okay. And we will have another assignment review part 2 tomorrow. Okay. It's going to be about the same. These are only just 5 questions, but it captures the essence of the each section of what we've done all this week and last week. And so this is a short, you can consider it as a short version of the test. Okay. And then I will also make the test available to you tomorrow as well. I don't think we will take very long, probably about 30, 35, 40 minutes to review all those 5 questions. Okay. And then I will turn all the rest of the time to you guys for any questions or just to catch up for all the assignments. Okay. We are basically done with the unit 2. Okay. And the test is going to be tomorrow. So let's get ready for that. Okay. The first thing that we started when we started the unit 2 is to work on factoring. Okay, so I am just going to let you guys work on that first, and then we will talk about it. So number 1, I just want you to factor. That's it. So I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, maybe a little more. Do you guys still remember how to factor it? Yeah, just keep going. I'll wait for you. Okay. Kimberly. And also, just as a reminder, next Monday, March 15th, we will not be meeting as a class, but it will be a parent-teacher conference day. Do you guys want to share your answer for number 1 in the chat so that I know where you guys are? You guys still working on this? X -10. Now, Jackson, you're very, very close. Take a look at there's something needs to be fixed. Take a look at it. Okay. The numbers are all good. I'm talking about the sign. Okay. Would you be able to notice that? Very good. Thank you, guys. It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. So some of you, okay, let's take a look. Okay. Again, factoring is the process of you putting back into parentheses, right? Pre-distributed property stage, right? When you distribute, right? But then reversing the distribution, distributed property is factoring, okay? So you're going to ask yourself first, how do I get 2x squared? And that is by having 2x and x, because when you distribute 2x times x will give you this 2x squared, right? So that's that. And then next, we're going to skip the middle part, 7x, but place our focus on negative 15. And then you're going to ask yourself, what times what is negative 15? There's only just one possible, well, 1 times 15. Besides that, there's only another one. It's a 3 times 5. Okay, so I'm just going to put 3 and 5. Okay. We may need to switch around or do something, but then how do we know which one is a positive, which one is negative? You're going to do the donuts, right? You do 3x, 2x times 5 is 10x. Now, when you add 3x and 10x, you want to get positive 7x. That's where the middle term is coming from. Okay. And how do you create that? Well, obviously, this 3x needs to be negative, right? Then negative 3x plus positive 10x will be 7x. Okay. That means 3 needs to be negative and 5 needs to be positive. Yeah, does that make sense? Hey, Jackson, I'm putting you on spot. I'm sorry, but does that make sense? So it has to be positive 5, yeah, instead of negative 5. Yeah, very good. I appreciate all of you for sharing that answer. Very good. Let's work on number 2. Again, this time I'm going to ask you to find x-intercept and y-intercept by using the factoring for x-intercept, okay? And hopefully you know what y-intercept is already, okay? You don't need to do anything, do you? But let's have you guys work on that by yourself first. So, about 2 minutes. If you have any questions, please direct them to the chat. Any questions, okay? Hey, good morning, Jessica. We are working on number 2 right now. This is today's assignment, and we're just working on a review questions. We just finished number 1, and now working on number 2. How are you guys doing on number 2? Were you able to factor it? Let's see. Okay. It's been 2 minutes. Thank you, Jackson. Once again, I want to take a look at the sign. So I think some of us do need a little more safety net to check your mistake there. There's one tiny mistake there. Can you identify that? Seven and 3. Okay. Very good, Crystal. Thank you. Let's take a look, okay? So, how do I go about this? So let's find out x-intercept. Let's change the color there. Color do you guys like? Green? How about green? To find x-intercept, you're going to set y to 0. I know this step may seem redundant, but it's important that you keep yourself reminding yourself that to find x-intercept, you set y to 0. Okay, remember that. And then we're going to factor it. So first term is 3x squared, so that's gotta be 3x and x. That's that, right? Next, we're going to focus on the last term, which is 7. And 7 is a prime number, so it's got to be 1 times 7. So I'll just put 1, 7. Maybe we need to switch around. We'll see. And then let's check the donuts, right? 1x. 3 times 7 is 21x. And can you create negative 22x by adding 1x and 21x? Yeah, we can, right? If both of them are negative, negative 1x and negative 21x, then if you add them together, that's negative 22x. That means 1 will be negative and 7 will be negative as well. Then you will get negative 22. Also, there is one more thing that I want you guys to check. Just to make sure, is negative 1 times negative 7, does that give you positive 7? And it does, right? So if you do check, you can easily or identify your mistake. Lots of mistakes occur, sign mistakes occur, and you will be able to catch those, okay, if you double check, okay? So now, we're not quite done yet. Now, what's the solution? Yes. Now, okay. So I've had a couple of you guys sharing. Did anybody answer x-intercept is 1 and 7? Did anybody do that? Now, 7 is correct, okay? Or 70, right? That will be correct. But 1 is not. It's not 1. Why? because there is this 3 in front of x. If you have that 3x, that means what you have to set 3x minus 1 equal to 0 and solve it. And I think a couple of you are forgetting to do that. So when you add 1, you get 3x equals 1. And then divide by 3, divide by 3. And x is actually not 1, but 1 over 3. And then the other one, x equals 7. So these are the solutions. It is 1/3 0 and 7 0. Will you take a look at that? If it is not like x plus 5, then you know that the solution is going to be -5. It's just the opposite number, right? However, if you have, let's say, 2x plus 5, then you have to set it equal to 0 and solve it. And then that means you have to subtract 5, 2x equals -5. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x will be -5/2. It's not going to be just the opposite number. Is everybody okay on that? Okay. And then y-intercept. This one, you really don't need to do anything. It's this number, isn't it? Right. Y-intercept is 7 or 0, 7. Okay. So that would be the solution. And it's good that we are catching those mistakes right now, right? Yeah. And you've learned something, didn't you? For those who did make that mistake. Okay, number 3. Third thing that we've done is to solve x-intercept by using quadratic formula. I am not going to give you the quadratic formula right now. I hope you have it in your notes. So let's work on number 3 by using quadratic formula. Has anybody found x-intercept? Looks like it's also factorable. Okay, let's take a look. Quadratic formula is, if you, in case if you don't have it, it is negative b plus minus, or opposite, I should say, opposite of a b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I bet some of you have memorized that. You don't have to. So a is 1, b is negative 4, and c is negative 2. And all you have to do is just plug them in, okay, into a, b, and c respectively. Somebody came in. So let's apply that. So opposite of b, now b is already negative 4, so opposite will be positive 4. So the first entry should be positive 4 plus minus square root of a b squared. Now, b is negative 4, right? So b negative 4 squared minus 4ac, okay, over 2 times 1. Will you take a look at that? Okay. Especially this negative, that could be a problematic, okay? Do you see that how I put the parentheses around negative 4? Because b is negative 4, right? So you got to do negative 4 squared in parentheses. So negative 4 squared will be positive 16. And then I've suggested to, for that next 4, that you count that as a negative 4, and then you do negative 4 times 1 times negative 2. Okay, negative 4 times 1 is still negative 4, and negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 16. So you have 16 plus 16, 32. That's it. Did you get square root of 32? Okay, now we can actually figure out the decimal value. One is 4 plus square root of 32 divided by 2. The other value will be 4 minus square root of 32 divided by 2. And let's figure it out. Divide by 2. And what did you get? Okay, irrational number. So it's an ongoing decimal without any repeating pattern. It's 4.8. Then 4 minus square root of 32. Enter, and then divide by 2. Negative 0.883. So that's it. Were you able to get that 4.8 and negative 0.8? How did it go? Yeah, so So you're doing this, right? It's basically negative. You're multiplying three numbers. -4 times 1 times -2. So first I do negative. Oh, wait a second. That's 8, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you are right. Gentry, yeah. It's my bad. It's not 16. Okay, I made a mistake, guys. I'm sorry. So -4 times 1 is 4. 4 -4. -4 times 2 is +8. So 16 plus 8 is, what is it, 24? It's a square root of 24. Yes, you were right. I was wrong. Okay. Very good. Just trying to check if you're listening. Okay, let's figure out 4 plus square root of 24 divided by 2. 4.4. And then what do you get? Negative 0.4445. How did I do? Am I doing all right? Okay, very good. Thank you guys for letting me know. And then the y-intercept, again, will be easy. It's going to be -2. It's the last number right there. Okay, so here's the x-intercept, and then here's the y-intercept. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Number 4. Identifying the vertex. 2 minutes. Quindi arresta dove io.
Green. Green. グリーンはあそこに置かない方がいいかな。グリーンディスプレイに置かない方がいいかもしれない。
Okay, how are you guys doing on this? Okay, let's get started. Okay. Or I guess I should. Do you guys have the answer for vertex? Would you be willing to share? Anybody else? Okay, I'll just wait a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so good. So I'm just going to get started on talking about this. The vertex, first of all, is the very bottom of the parabola or quadratic function. Or it could be, if it's upside down, it's at the very top. It's also called turning point because it turns from climbing to descending or descending to climbing, right? It turns, right? And it's very important that you be able to find that, the location. Okay? And so how do you do that? There is a vertex finding formula. Okay? And first of all, vertex is a coordinate. It's made up of x and y coordinate because vertex is a point. Okay. How do you find x coordinate? It's negative b over 2a. Okay. Is that what you did? So a is 2, b is 12. So opposite of a b will be negative 12 over 2 times 2. Negative 12 divided by 4, that's negative 3. And that's what x coordinate of the vertex is. X coordinate of the vertex is going to be negative 3. Okay. Now, how do you find y coordinate next? When x is negative 3. Well, you do exactly that. You plug in negative 3 back into the equation for x because x is negative 3. You okay on that? So you do 2 times negative 3 squared plus 12 times negative 3 minus 5. Okay. Negative 3 squared, that's positive 9. So it's 2 times 9 is 18. And 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. And then we got minus 5. So what is that? Negative 18 minus 36 is negative 18 and minus 5. So the answer will be negative 23. How did I do? That's y coordinate. Very good. Again, if you didn't get it, not a big deal. But again, very important that you identify your mistake. Okay. What was it? Let's take time to do that. All right. Next question and the last question. Okay, this is from yesterday, and we did talk about vertex form, which is in this form. Okay, we remember we have two different forms for quadratic function. One is standard form or general form, which is in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And that's mainly what we've dealt with. But then there is another form called vertex form, which is right here. And you need to be able to interpret what each number means. Okay, this -3, 5, and 8. Okay, each number tells you something about the parabola, and you need to know how to interpret that. Okay, first question. The graph is vertically stretched or vertically compressed. Which one is it? Stretch means vertically stretched means steep. Is it the steep kind of a parabola, or is it vertically compressed means flat? Is it the flat kind of a parabola? Which one is it? And how do you tell? It is going to be vertically stretched. Now, how do you know that? It's because of this 3 right here. Disregard the sign, whether it's positive or negative, just forget about it. Just look at the number, numerical value itself, and it is 3. Now, 3 is bigger than 1, isn't it? That means it's going to be stretched, meaning that it's kind of like the slope of the linear function, okay? If the slope is bigger and bigger, the slope of the linear function gets steeper and steeper, doesn't it? That's what exactly what that a value is. Okay, and it's a 3, which is bigger than 1, so it gets steeper. Okay, and it is open upward. Is it going to be U shape or is it going to be upside down U shape? It is downward. How do you know that? It's because of the negative sign. If it's negative, the first number is negative, it's upside down. Last but not the least, the vertex. Can you tell me what the vertex is? Everybody type it in the chat. What is the vertex? Anybody else? Very good. Thank you very much, guys. It is -5 and 8. Remember, the only the x coordinate, it has to be opposite value. Y coordinate is just that number itself. You do not need to switch that. You don't switch the sign. So it's -5 and 8. Now with that, you have fairly good idea of where the parabola is going to be. So let's sketch. First of all, the vertex, you start with a vertex. Okay, vertex. So everybody do this for me. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you. Locate the vertex. Where is the vertex? Make a big dot. Have you guys all located the vertex? -5 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where the vertex is. And then we just determined that it is open downward. So it's going to be upside down, and then it's going to be steep. Okay. So let's draw it's a rough sketch. Okay. Upside down, steep, something like that. Okay. And if you have a graphing calculator, let me show you. Let's see, -3 x plus 5 squared plus 8. So I've just typed it in. And then I'm going to press graph. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have, isn't it? Right? It confirms. But again, this is just a rough sketch of it. But at least we know where the vertex is. At least we know that it's open downward, upside down, and it's going to be fairly steep. Okay. So that's it. This is everything that we've talked about for this unit. How do you guys feel? Is it a confidence booster, or are you how were you able to do these 5 problems? Okay. Well, you are going to turn this in. I've created the assignment, the homework. How many homework is this? Homework number 5, maybe number 5 or number 6. Okay. So please take a picture of this and turn it in. Okay. And we are going to do the same tomorrow. I know, I think some of you might be all ready to go, but I will give you one more assignment tomorrow. We'll do this all together, and then I will have you guys take the test. Okay. So again, please remember to turn this assignment in. We still have about 30 minutes left in class. If you have any missing assignments, please